Please help me to reach 7,000 subscribers. Ben glanced at the worn bills in his palm, fingers trembling, not from cold, but from the worry that clung to his chest and wouldn't let go. $3. That's all he had. At the bakery counter, every cake seemed to gleam just a little too brightly, as if they knew he couldn't take any of them home. The smallest one sat alone behind the frosty glass, a plain circle of vanilla, 4 scribbled on its tag. Shuffling forward in his wheelchair, Ben tried to keep his gaze steady, not wanting pity from the clerk or the early morning crowd. He used to stand tall, proud in his soccer uniform, his mother laughing as she snapped photos from the sidelines. Dad would clap the loudest, his voice booming across the field. But that was before illness had stolen everything. His strong legs, his father's presence, his mother's smile. Now birthdays were just reminders. A calendar date marked by silence, no sparkler candles, no little sister bursting in before sunrise, no hugs or laughter, just the hollow clang of the radiator in the apartment and the sound of his own breathing. He pressed the money across the counter, voice barely above a whisper, "I'd like to buy a cake, please." The clerk's kindly eyes drifted down, then away. He knew that look from teachers, neighbors, doctors, all meaning well, all helpless. Her lips pressed into a line. "It's 4, sweetheart," Ben winced. He had counted the coins in his coat pocket over and over, praying for a miracle he knew wouldn't come. "I only have 3. He swallowed, face burning, wishing just this once his life could be something other than a lesson in disappointment. He felt invisible in moments like this. Did it matter if he had a birthday at all? Would anyone even care if he vanished from the world tomorrow? He tried to remember the sound of his mom's lullaby, soft and brave, back when the world was warm. Now the only music was just the echo of footsteps walking away. Ben looked away from the cake case, pretending the disappointment didn't sting. He'd wait a few minutes, then leave with nothing. It was better that way. No one could take away what you never had. Have you ever wished for just one person to really see your pain even for a moment? If you have, comment "I wish" below, because your story deserves to be heard. The bakery's bell chimed as the door swung wide open, a chill drifting in behind 2 figures who seemed almost to glow against the wintry sky. Ava swept into the warmth, clutching a huge canvas tote stuffed with groceries, her cheeks pink from the wind, dark curls peeking out from under her beanie. She gave the room a quick practice scan, the glance of a mother who always counted exits and watched for stray dangers, then fixed her attention on her daughter, Lily, trailing at her side. Lily's boots squeaked against the tile as she paused, hazel eyes growing round at the sight of Ben by the cake display. For a moment, time seemed to slow, like part of a memory waiting to be written. Lily tugged gently on Ava's coat, whispering, "Mom, I think he's sad. Should we say hi or give him a card?" Ava knelt to Lily's level, her tired face softening into the smile she reserved for moments like this. "You can always say hi, honey. Kindness is never a mistake." Lily's voice carried through the bakery, not shy but gentle as she approached Ben. "Is it your birthday?" she asked, peering at the cake case. "My birthday is in February, but I wish it was today." Ben hesitated, surprised by her directness. She was too young to notice the awkwardness, the wary glances from adults who didn't know how to talk to someone in a wheelchair. But Lily meant every word, her curiosity pure. Ava joined her, placing a calming hand on her daughter's shoulder. Ava smiled at Ben, warmth radiating through her exhausted posture. Her eyes flickered with understanding, empathy born not of pity but of long nights spent tucking Lily in after double nursing shifts and learning what loneliness felt like. There was no judgment in her gaze, just a shared recognition of struggle, a quiet offer that didn't need words. Lily leaned in, nose almost touching the glass, giggling. "I hope you get the cake you like. If I could, I'd buy them all for you." Ava laughed softly and squeezed Lily's fingers. "Let's see what we can do, sweetheart. Maybe today is a day for something wonderful." In those few moments, the bakery seemed to change, filled with a new kind of light. The kind that's born when 2 worlds cross and kindness chooses a side. Ben's startled hope flickered anew, barely daring to believe that maybe this birthday wouldn't be invisible after all. Ben tried to focus on the muted hum of the bakery, forks tapping against plates, distant laughter warming the tiled floor, anything to distract from what he knew was coming. The clerk hesitated, then gently slid his 3 crumpled bills back across the counter. "Sorry, honey, it's just..." She didn't finish. Ben understood. Not everyone could be rescued by miracles. Lily pressed closer, peering at the small vanilla cake Ben had been eyeing. "Is it your birthday?" "You need a cake," she declared, as if it were the most obvious rule in the universe. Before Ben could reply, Ava bent down, her voice an oasis of calm. "What's your favorite kind of cake?" she asked, meeting Ben's eyes, letting him know she wouldn't look away. Not from his wheels or worn sleeves or the embarrassment rising in his cheeks. Ben hesitated, torn between gratitude and the sharp pain of pride. "It's okay, I really don't—" His throat closed, but Lily interrupted, rummaging through her tote bag. With triumphant delight, she pulled out a notebook edged with rainbow stickers and quickly tore out a page, drawing a clumsy heart and writing in big, blocky letters, "Happy Birthday." The gesture undid him. Ben blinked quickly, unwilling to cry. Ava noticed and turned to the clerk. "How much for the cake?" Her hand was already searching for her wallet. The clerk hesitated. $4. Ava pressed a $5 bill onto the counter before Ben could protest. "We'd like to buy this one," and she glanced at Ben. "Maybe we can celebrate together." Ben tried to argue, pride urging him to decline. But the hunger for kindness, so foreign, so desperately needed, quieted his refusal. "I don't want to be a problem," he managed, voice shaking. Ava shook her head. "The only problem here is that no one should spend their birthday alone." Her words soothed him more than he could say. At Lily's urging, the clerk slid the cake into a simple box, adding a candle for free. Customers nearby, who'd overheard, began to smile and nod in solidarity. As Lily handed Ben her birthday card, she beamed with pure pride. "Now you can make a wish." Ben's heart thudded with something he'd almost forgotten: hope, as delicate as the flicker of the candle he was about to light. Ava met his eyes once more, her voice gentle with promise. "Birthdays are for wishing, but some dreams need more than wishes. Sometimes they need someone to listen." In that moment, surrounded by strangers, with a paper heart and a cake he'd almost never tasted, Ben felt, for the first time in forever, unseen solitude replaced by possibility. The little bakery table trembled as Lily tugged it closer, her eagerness making Ben smile for the first time all morning. Ava settled beside him, smoothing out napkins and offering a paper cup of cocoa with practiced care. Around them, the cafe's background chatter faded into gentle quiet, space carved out for the kind of conversation that rarely found daylight. Ben studied the white swirl of frosting on his slice before speaking. "I used to play soccer," he said, voice hesitant, fingers tracing invisible patterns on the tabletop. "I was supposed to make varsity this year, but everything changed last November." Lily watched him patiently, as if willing his story to come out whole. Ava listened too, nodding when Ben's words stumbled. "My dad left after the accident. Said he couldn't handle it. I lost my little sister too. She lives with our aunt now. It was just me and Mom, and she tried, but things got really hard. I got sick, couldn't move my legs anymore. Even school felt too far away sometimes." Ava's face softened, her exhaustion melting into empathy. "I get it," she said quietly. "I had to start over too. Lily's dad left even before she was born. My parents passed away in a car crash when Lily was 3. Every new day felt like a mountain I wasn't sure I could climb. But Lily was always my reason." Lily reached out, squeezing Ben's hand with a seriousness rare for her age. "My mommy says people are like candles. Even little ones can make a dark place brighter." She grinned at Ben's surprised laugh. Ben glanced between Ava and Lily, feeling how shared pain could stitch strangers together. "I miss my old life so much. I miss laughing. I miss even just being noticed." Ava leaned in, her voice just above a whisper. "You're noticed now. And you matter. I know what it's like not to feel that way. I promise you're not alone here." For a moment, the three of them simply ate cake in silence, no pity in the air, just calm and understanding. Lily bolted the last bite, triumphantly declaring, "I think this is the best birthday ever." Ben's chest tightened, joy and sadness dancing together. He saw possibility reflected in Ava's steady gaze and in Lily's hopeful grin. The bakery had become a safe harbor, and Ben realized maybe there was room for hope, even in a world marked by broken dreams. If this story makes you think about the people you miss or hopes you thought were lost, share your story below. Your words could be the light someone else needs. Ava glanced at Ben, then at Lily, warmth flickering in her eyes despite the fatigue she rarely let show. "Would you like to come over for dinner with us tonight?" she asked, voice soft but completely clear. Ben's cheeks colored. An invitation like that hadn't come his way in a very long time. He glanced down, considering his scuffed sneakers, the ache of uncertainty heavy in his gut. "I usually just go home," he blurted, voice shaky and defensive, afraid of hoping for too much. "I don't want to be a burden." I can't help with much." Lily stepped in without missing a beat, earnest as ever. "You're not a burden."
You're our friend now.
"You have to come. Mom makes the best spaghetti." She grinned, flashing the gap in her front teeth as if it were a badge of honor. Ava's smile was gentle, almost stubborn in its determination. "Ben, our house isn't perfect, but it's always open. There's room at our table for you, no matter what." She hesitated, searching his face for pushback, then continued. "We know what it is to find family in unexpected places. Sometimes belonging isn't about being strong or helpful. It's about showing up together." Ben felt tears press at the edges of his eyes. He thought about cold evenings in his apartment, curled up against memories in silence, wishing for a single voice to call his name. The chance to spend a night in the orbit of Ava and Lily, a place filled with laughter, warmth, possibility, was more than hope. It was a lifeline. He nodded, swallowing his fear. "Okay, I'll come to dinner." His voice cracked, but his heart swelled. Lily celebrated by pumping her fist in the air. "Best birthday ever." She turned to Ben with authority. "You have to tell us what wish you made." Ben smiled, feeling possibility enter the cracks that loss had left behind. "Maybe I wished for a little bit of family. And maybe, today, I got it. If you've ever wanted to belong somewhere or found comfort in a new friend when you least expected it, share your story in the comments. Someone out there needs to see your hope." Ava's car was old but cheerfully messy. Wrappers from Lily's favorite snacks scattered on the back seat, and a faded soccer ball wedged beside the booster. Ben eased himself in, the smell of vanilla shampoo and something homey, maybe cinnamon, immediately wrapping him in a comfort he hadn't felt in years. Ava took the scenic route, letting Lily point out every playground, dog park, and the painted mural she'd helped with at school. By the time they reached a cozy brownstone laced with string lights, Ben had let his nervousness melt into anticipation. Inside, the apartment buzzed with life, a patchwork couch covered in mismatched blankets, family photos along the hallway, chimes of laughter echoing from the kitchen as Ava and Lily shared an inside joke about the spaghetti dance. Ben rolled slowly through each space, savoring the warmth. As Ava set a pot to boil, Lily rummaged in the storage bin, emerging a moment later triumphantly holding up a battered acoustic guitar and that old soccer ball from the car. "You said you played," Lily prompted, voice hopeful. Ben hesitated, hands hovering over the guitar. It felt strange, like touching a piece of the past he thought had vanished. But with Lily's encouragement and Ava humming as she chopped garlic, Ben gave in and strummed a simple chord. The sound was rough but beautiful, filling the small apartment like sunlight through a dusty window. Ava peeked from the kitchen, smiling. "I used to play back in school. Maybe you two can start a band." Lily insisted on a song, so Ben played a familiar melody and watched her spin around the coffee table, giggling as she turned the living room into a stage. Afterward, Lily rolled the soccer ball over, nudging it with her foot. Ben laughed and, with Ava's help, dribbled slowly across the rug, using his hands to show old tricks. For the first time in forever, he felt strength not in his legs, but in laughter and music and connection. Dinner was unforgettable: spaghetti, garlic bread, stories about favorite books, and a contest for the loudest slurp. Every sound in the home filled Ben up, each moment sweeter because he knew what true silence was. As dusk settled and Ben prepared to leave, he caught his reflection in the window. He smiled, really truly smiled, knowing joy could be found again. Not in standing, but in singing, playing, and belonging. If you believe joy finds a way back, even after loss, or if music ever saved you, let us know in the comments. Your happiness is worth sharing. Sunday morning brought sunlight through Ava's kitchen window, turning dust motes to gold and promising the start of something new. Ben, still wearing yesterday's happiness, was greeted by Lily's excited chatter and the delicious aroma of cinnamon and coffee. It was his first birthday morning spent surrounded by people who wanted him there. not out of obligation, but choice. Lily had already commandeered the kitchen table, bowls and measuring spoons everywhere. "Birthday people have to decide what cake to bake," she commanded, pushing Ava's old recipe box in front of Ben. Torn scraps of handwritten notes fluttered within, family legacies, each stained in flour and memories. Ben hesitated, unsure, but Lily prodded. "Pick one. You're part of our tradition now." Her joy was infectious. Ben thumbed through cards until he found Mom's sunshine cake. He read it aloud, voice trembling. "It says, 'For new beginnings and extra hugs.' Was it really your mom's favorite, Ava?" Ava smiled, bittersweet. Every year she'd let us frost it with our fingers. It always looked a mess, but it tasted like home. The three got to work, Ava pouring, Ben whisking, Lily sneaking pinches of sugar. Laughter braided through the kitchen, binding them like family stitched by choice instead of blood. Later, as the cake cooled and Ava prepped candles, Ben confessed his birthday wish aloud for the first time. "I wish to be part of something, not just someone." Lily promptly crowned him official family, declaring he'd have to return every birthday so they could keep breaking tradition together. When sunlight faded to candlelight, Ben made a wish and blew out the flames, warm hand in hand with the people who saw his heart before his wheelchair. Cake was messy, laughter twice as loud. And when Ava said, "We're glad you're here, Ben," he knew it wasn't just a line from a card. If you've ever found family in unexpected places or started your own traditions out of hope, share them in the comments. Someone out there may need your courage to start again. The bakery was bustling as usual, but this morning held an undercurrent of excitement. Ava, Ben, and Lily arrived early, arms laden with fresh cake and boxes of homemade birthday cards. Ben wheeled himself in, heart beating fast, a mix of nerves and something brighter. Today wasn't just his birthday. It was the launch of a new tradition, one sparked by a single act of kindness. Their table quickly became a beacon, a swirl of candles, paper hearts, and laughter. Lily bounced up to a regular customer, offering a slice and explaining their new ritual. "Birthday people shouldn't be alone, so now we help make sure nobody is." Moments later, a woman at the next table snapped photos and posted Ben's story with a simple caption, "Kindness is contagious in our bakery." By afternoon, strangers began arriving with gifts, cards, and even balloons. The bakery clerk blinked back tears, offering extra treats for anyone celebrating. Ava watched in awe as Ben's birthday wish spread across the internet. Messages from around the city and then the world flooded their phones. People began paying it forward, surprising neighbors with cakes and carrying Lily's birthday cards to hospitals, nursing homes, and shelters. Ben was moved beyond words. What started as a whispered hope for belonging had become a tidal wave of love. Ava sat beside him, hand steady on his shoulder. "See what happens when you let people in?" She smiled. "You get more kindness than you can ever ask for." Lily grinned, counting new friends on her fingers. "Next year, let's make twice as many cakes." Ben nodded, voice thick. "Next year, let's make sure every lonely birthday is a little less lonely." If kindness ever lifted you up, or if you've seen hope go viral in your life, type HOPE in the comments below. Help us make birthday miracles happen. One story, one smile, one cake at a time. 1 year later, Ben awoke not in silence, but to the sound of Lily shrieking with laughter from the kitchen and the smell of sizzling pancakes. His chair squeaked as he wheeled toward the source, finding Ava pouring syrup with her usual Sunday flourish. Sunlight splashed across the table, now covered with birthday cards and a cake, this time big enough to serve a crowd. The house, once haunted by emptiness, now thrummed with warmth. Ben marveled at how much had changed. After that first birthday, he'd moved in with Ava and Lily, trading loneliness for sibling pillow fights, late-night homework sessions, and a steady stream of new friends. The three of them didn't just share a home, they shared everything: dreams, chores, laughter, and the ache of sorrow when missing old lives struck unexpectedly. Together, they'd turned last year's birthday miracle into something lasting. Ben and Ava launched Birthday Miracles, a small nonprofit that sent birthday cakes and handmade cards to foster homes and group shelters all over the city. Lily was the chief artist, her doodles lighting up every envelope, her quirky jokes penciled onto each card. Once a week, Ben rolled into middle schools with Ava to share their story, showing kids how kindness turned his whole world around. He mentored other teens dealing with loss and taught wheelchair soccer at the local park. Grinning as one shy kid after another scored their first goal, Ava watched him with pride. Pride in the boy who'd become her son in every way but name. Their family wasn't like other families, but it was real, and it was growing. On this new birthday, candles flickering, Lily handed Ben a new card. Best brother ever. Ben glanced up, cheeks wet, voice clear and sure. Thank you for choosing me. For teaching me to believe in new beginnings. If you've ever found hope where you least expected, or if you helped kindness grow, share your story with us. You never know, one simple act could become someone's miracle. Ben stood before a bustling crowd at the bakery where it all began, a place now transformed into a hub for the Birthday Miracles Initiative. Flickering candles illuminated his face as he held the microphone, his voice steady but tender, carrying the weight of a journey few could understand. Just over a year ago, he began, I was that lonely boy, sitting alone with $3 and a silent wish for someone to notice. That day changed my life, not because of the cake, but because of the kindness that came with it. Behind him, Ava and Lily stood smiling, their presence a testament to the family they had built together, one stitched from love, resilience, and shared heartbreak. Ben's eyes scanned the crowd of supporters, volunteers, and strangers united by a simple truth. A single act of kindness, Ben continued, can ripple out farther than we imagine. What started as a birthday gift for one boy turned into a promise to make sure no child goes unheard or unseen on their special day. Ava stepped forward, voice warm. We all have the power to change lives. It doesn't take money or fame, just a moment to open your heart and offer hope. Lily chimed in, holding up a stack of handmade cards. And a little magic like this. The crowd erupted into applause, many wiping tears. The room was alive with stories, connections, and the hope that one gesture could spark a world of change. Ben closed with a challenge. Will your kindness be someone's birthday miracle? Will you help us create more joy, more belonging? Because every single one of us deserves to feel seen, to be celebrated. If this story touched your heart, if you believe kindness changes everything, please comment below. Share your own story or simply type birthday miracle to join our growing family of hope. Together we can make every birthday a little brighter. Thank you for listening, and remember, your small act might just save a life.